Love Note takes place inside of Plummer Park in West Hollywood. There's also an at-home version if you're not able to make it out. Just go to our website, rogueartists.org/love note, and you can be directed to a printable map where you can go on an adventure of the park of your living room or the park near where you live. If you are able to make it into Plummer Park, it's very simple. All you need to do is find the really big banner that says #1. And on that banner, there's going to be a QR code. So you're going to need your phone and you're going to need a data plan, and some headphones wouldn't be bad too. All you have to do is scan the code and the story will pop up on your window, press play, and you can listen to each track. There are 8 locations in the park. And if you don't have time to explore them all, although we hope that you will, just make sure to listen to the first one and the last one, which is number 8, and if you can, a few in between. You can do it at your own pace and in your own time. And at the end of the experience, there's an opportunity for any audience member who would like to add their own story of love to the piece. And we are incorporating those stories back into the piece as sort of a living document of that park and that place and all of your stories. Hi, my name is Lori Meeker. I am an ensemble member with the Rogue Artists Ensemble and the head writer of our new piece called Love Note. If you'd like to learn a little bit more, here is a fun video. Check it out. Well, I am the creator of the project. Love Note by Rogue Artists Ensemble is something that I am the developer and creator of alongside our artistic director named Sean Kowalty. The project came about as a response to a previous project that we held as a workshop piece, testing out an idea called the Valentine Van. And I wrote that piece, it was about 2 years ago. And the quick concept was that we had our company's van, the white van, typical thing with this big heart on the outside, and it said Valentine Van. And we drove around town. We had about 10 different locations where we just kind of plopped the van, and inside the van was the world's greatest writer of Valentines. And we had a character who was the person who took this world's greatest writer of Valentines. And so Love Note was an exploration of that character and kind of combined with our pandemic world and needing to connect and fall in love again. So the Rogues have been working on projects that live inside of an immersive world for several years now. This particular project's impetus came at a time when we weren't allowed to see each other. We weren't allowed to be near each other. It's the beginning of the pandemic in August of 2020, where we were kind of really searching and really trying to find ways to connect with our audiences and connect with each other, just people. And so this project was an idea that got thrown around. Let's explore this character that we developed with the Valentine Van. Let's find out who this character called the Collector is. And how can we use this story to reach out to people in our community to find out their stories of love and somehow find a semblance, sometimes find the thing that we're losing in other people and vice versa. The piece was, the style of the piece is kind of a response to the idea that we couldn't be physically together, and how as artists can we develop a new style of storytelling in this crazy time where we can still try to reach out to people when we can't physically be together. And the idea of having a sonic adventure, an adventure that you could do at the safety of your home, or one that if you felt comfortable venturing out, you could go into where our piece is in Plummer Park and experience it there. It's something that I think honors the independence of the audience person as the single person experiencing it at one time, but also with the understanding that it's being experienced by several people at once in the same physical space. Plummer Park is an organization that we have worked with before. We hosted a show there called Senior Plummer's Final Fiesta, and the same name is not a coincidence. That show was about the life of Eugenio Plummer, upon which the park is named. His home was there many, many years ago. So we have established a relationship with Plummer Park to create kind of these out there crazy, really touching experiences. And they had a grant that was offered to us. And we snapped at the chance to do it. They're a wonderful organization to work with. We love the park. It's a beautiful space. If no one has ever been, highly encourage folks to go. It's a little pocket park in West Hollywood, and it's full all the time. There's so many people there, and it's a really lovely place. Rogue Artists Love Note is a collaboration with not only our audience, but it's a collaboration with several artists in our community, in our artistic community, in our community of Los Angeles. Some we have worked with directly on previous projects, and others we have not worked with before, but have known of in our universes of Los Angeles theater. And we're just dying to get the chance to work with these amazing voices. They are diverse. They come from many different kinds of places in the universe. There are stories told from the Armenian perspective. There are stories told from those with a Mexican perspective in Spanish. And it was really important to us to kind of try and reach out to as broad a group as possible. And I think the most interesting collaboration in just its concept is one of our spots focuses on love of community. And on the community spot, we reached out to people who are in the Russian-speaking community of Plummer Park and got their perspective on the actual place where this piece is taking place, their connection to Plummer Park, how did they come to West Hollywood? And just that process for me as a developer of this piece was really wonderful to listen to these people's very unique stories about coming to the United States and finding community in this specific park. Not only are the folks that have written pieces writers of the project, but they are also performers as well. We have a wonderful artist named Araceli Parsagatov, whose name I may have butchered. And she's a young woman who we worked with before as a child actor. She's growing up so fast. And she wrote a story about her pet, and she also composed music to go along with it. She's a very talented woman. We have a wonderful piece by Lisa Dring, who is not only a contributor of this piece, but a person who is a former member of the ensemble itself, an associate artist right now. And she wrote a piece about love of the future that is just so touching. This piece about connecting with her future self and love of her future self. I'm sitting in the park and crying because this piece is so beautiful. We have another piece by a wonderful artist named Mildred Lewis, who we've collaborated with on a past project called Rogue Lab that was a kind of a artistic incubator for projects with Rogue Artists Ensemble. And we loved her work in that piece. And we wanted to reach out to her and see if she'd write a story for us about romantic love. And she wrote a wonderful piece that really evokes the sense of being in Plummer Park. It talks about the tennis courts that are nearby and the love that's found there. Another artist that's participated in this project's name is Diana Bourbano. And she was also a collaborator on our show, a previous show in Plummer Park, Senior Plummer's Final Fiesta. And she wrote an amazing piece with her son as another voice. And it's very conversational, and it just, the sound design on it is like you're calling someone far away. And it's a really beautiful piece about distance and differences of culture. We have another artist who is the poet laureate of the city of West Hollywood. His name is Brian Sonia Wallace. And he told us an amazing story. I don't want to tell all the stories, but he's a talented human being, and he has a group, or his thing that he does is a rent-a-poet, and he goes around the city of Los Angeles and all over the country with his typewriter, writing poems right with you, right in the moment. And he is doing a piece alongside our project called Pride Poets. And you can call into his line and get a poem just for you. And on top of all of those wonderful artists, we have a plethora more of folks who have participated in this project, all about telling us stories of love. The piece is a reflection of love in many different forms. It's not just about romance. It's not just about family. It's about nature, and it's about loss. It's about the future, what is in store for us. And what I'm really hoping is that audiences will absorb these stories and hopefully feel compelled to share their own story. And in doing so, I think that in the sharing and the listening and the sharing and the listening, we can all kind of come together and have an understanding that we're not alone. And, you know, the world is opening up. We're learning how to communicate with each other again. And I think that Love Note stands in a place where we're all learning how to do these things. And hopefully, if we can understand that there are people in the world who have felt love and have felt compassion, then each individual who experiences this hopefully won't feel so alone. My personal favorite thing about immersive experience and this kind of storytelling is when audiences are treated like an individual. And when you are feeling empowered to inhabit a space and to share your story. So I'm really hoping that people will listen to step number 8 and call our hotline and give us their personal stories, because it's really in that moment where I think we're truly connecting with each other. And in me as a person who's on the other side listening to all these stories, that they're just really magical. And I hope that people will know that their stories matter to someone else, and that they really do and really can make an impact on you. Rogue Artists Ensemble is partnered with the City of West Hollywood and with One City, One Pride to bring this piece to life. We've had a long-standing relationship with the City of West Hollywood, and there are a lot of participants in this piece who identify in the LGBTQIA community. And it was as important to us to highlight their voices as it was to highlight voices that are from different cultural backgrounds. So we're very proud to be a part of the One City, One Pride festival. And we're hoping that we can shine more lights on all of those types of artists. I think that people should attend Love Note because I think sometimes that we forget how to not just forget how to love, but how to love ourselves. And I think sometimes we forget that there needs to be a space for love and a space for kindness. And I think that although we've been stuck at home, there's just still this barrage of information coming at us. There's things that we need to do, and we have to improve ourselves. We have to work. We have to reach out. And I think in that tumult comes a sense of confusion. And I think that people, and myself, I mean, I'm really speaking of myself, this idea that like, it's hard to remember how to care for yourself, and it's hard to remember that you need to care for others. And I hope that people will come and experience this piece and have a little bit more compassion, and know that I think it's important for folks to have that sense of compassion, and for folks to know that other people are also suffering of this lack of compassion, and hopefully together we can kind of heal each other. The Rogue Artists Ensemble stands at this point in time as, to me, one of the most forward-thinking theater companies I can think of. And I would encourage anyone who is listening to this, who goes to see Love Note, to reach out to us. So we want to hear from you. If you're an artist creating in Los Angeles, if you're an artist creating on the moon, no matter your color or how you identify, we want to hear from you, and we want to expand our universe to hear all kinds of different voices. The Rogues have, I think, for a long time thought this way, and we're always honing the process, and we're always reevaluating the way that we cast shows, and really thinking about how are we a reflection of our community? Is this show a reflection of our community? Is the backstage crew a reflection of our community? Are we giving opportunities where opportunities need to be given? and understanding that that there is space. We have space here for you. If you love Rogue, if you want to see more, please find us on the internet and like us and follow us, and please reach out. My name is Lori Meeker, and I'm an ensemble member with the Rogue Artists Ensemble and the head writer of our new show called Love Note. If you enjoyed this conversation, find out more about Love Note by going to rogueartists.org/Love Note.